Episode 12, Doc.
Episode 12.
Doc and the Boxer.
Doc.
Doc Boxer. Doc Boxer. Yeah.
We're
We're
wrapped
back,
up.
guys. We back.
Yep.
We're back.
Got some good stuff.
We're just on a little hiatus because I just got married and had my wedding and Doc was there.
Yeah, awesome wedding. I really recommend at one time, at least once in your life, go to an Indian Sikh wedding. You will not regret it.
No, man.
The food is wicked. The atmosphere is wicked. The people are awesome.
Go all out. Go
Yeah.
all out.
Yeah, it's quite an experience.
Mm.
Good, solid people too. So that's the best thing
Great
about
time,
it.
great time. Remember, like when me and my wife we came out into the floor, we wore the boxer.
That was
gloves.
awesome.
It
Yeah,
said Mr. Kooner, Mrs. Kooner.
yeah.
and
You're wearing the
like,
boxing robes.
Come in. Yeah.
I think her shadow boxing was a little sharper than yours.
Come on, I've been teaching her.
Yes.
She'll have the best teacher. Best teacher around.
Modesty's so important. That's what I like about
gotta
him.
be modest, man.
So
Hey, pray to God.
we missed a week, but we're back.
We're back.
We got some fights tonight, eh?
There is
tonight.
a great card Fox televised card with the return of Rigondeaux on the undercard, and we got Charlo. He was originally supposed to fight from Detroit, Tony Harrison.
Yeah, I would have liked to
But
seen Harrison fight
Tony
him.
injured his I think it was his knee.
Yeah,
3 weeks out, and the fight got canceled. We bring in the last minute replacement, and
Yeah.
and that's Jorge
Costa.
Cota, Cota.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jorge Cota, and what a treat for a Sunday evening. That's why we come to do our podcast a little bit early, so we can go home and go watch
a fight.
those fights.
By the way, just because now that you're married, you may have to watch fewer fights.
Not at all.
No, is that in marriage contract?
She knows
Okay.
what's up.
All right, cool. Oh, you married a great girl.
Yeah,
man.
she knows. Like boxing, I gotta watch it all. If I can watch it, I can watch it.
Now that's a marriage that's gonna last. No, that's awesome. So tonight, what do you think of that? What's your opinion of that fight?
I like great to see. I mean, it's gonna be an easy fight for Charlo.
Yeah,
and it's like even though the records like we have Jamel Charlo, who's 31-1, 15 KOs against Jorge Cota, 28-3, 25 KOs. So the records indicate
he's got a little bit of power.
Yeah, that he's got power. He actually does have more power because Jamel Charlo that's fighting tonight. He's the lesser power puncher of the two brothers. The other brother is 80% knockout KO, and you have Jamel, who's around 40%, like that. Still I think even less than that.
Yeah.
Rachel. So he's more the power puncher. The older brother is, or I don't know who's older. I always get
older
the
by
mix
what,
up.
a minute?
Jamel, and it was exactly 1 minute.
1 minute.
Jamal.
Funny,
Jamal.
it was like
Jamal.
It was like in between rounds.
Yeah.
A minute apart.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
They were meant for boxing.
They
I mean,
were
both
definitely-
brothers are highly skilled guys.
I would say so.
I would really like to see them tested though
I
against other
understand.
top guys. Now, is this fight at 154 or 160?
I think it's 54.
Okay.
Because Jamel is at 154.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see these guys fight stiffer competition. I mean, Martirosyan wasn't stiffer competition.
No, but he fought Jamel fought Harrison, Lubin.
Lubin, but Lubin's pretty much a rookie, right?
Oh, wait. Harrison Lubin, and I've been saying for a long time, this guy is sick, man. He was too early he fought
That's
Charlo.
what I'm saying, yes.
Too early, but he's gonna get knocked down and get back up.
Oh yeah, I mean that kid's only going to improve, and one day he will fight him again, and I think it'll be a very different outcome. Yeah, the
I
kid's
think
good.
so.
He's getting stronger too.
I follow him on as Coach Cunningham on Instagram, and I love to watch Harrison on the pads, and he's so good, man.
Yeah,
and he works hard.
Yeah,
that's the thing. The hard work is what trumps everything.
Yeah, I agree. And hard work with talent.
Hard work, dedication.
Yeah, this kid's going to be something pretty special. So we'll see. We'll see if he gets. I'd love it if he got a rematch with Charlo. In a year or two.
Yeah, with Jamal.
You know what, dude? I'm totally confused. Even when they're standing side by side.
Okay, don't worry. I heard it.
As long as he fights Charlo.
I just want clarification, please.
Yeah. As long as he fights a guy with the last name of Charlo, I'm happy.
That's it.
But that'll happen. So I think that's an easy fight. And then what's next for Charlo at 154? Who does he fight at 54?
And then he's got he changed his trainer. And I know we discussed about trainers and the importance of bettering yourself, and he decided that he would leave his trainer Ronnie Shields, and he's been with Derek James for a few fights now, and it's a reinsurgence of your career when you get a new trainer. Things are different. He's bringing a different look to what you already have from your other trainer, and that's what Charlo indicated. He's like I learned a lot from his previous coach Ronnie Shields, and he's taken that and then gaining all this other information from Derek James, and it's always improving.
Yeah, I mean they're still pretty young too. Both Charlo brothers.
Yeah, 20 and 28.
Jeez,
28. They're in their prime. These guys are in their prime. And also what I love about both Charlo brothers. First off, I love their outgoing demeanor. Like, to me, I like it because they come and fight the Lions Den. That's what they call it, Lions Den. Where when they come out with a lion, and these guys are ferocious. These guys are tough.
Yeah.
Jamal, he's got a boxing gym that he started himself. It's a really well to do, meaning is doing well. He's got 180 fighters, and
he's got training. Stable.
So what he's doing where he's from in Florida, and in that part of that area where it's less, there's more poverty, and he's built a gym near his old high school. So his old high school built his gym. He's got all these fighters coming from that area,
great.
And that's great.
Yeah,
you always want to see that.
Yeah, I agree. Giving something back to the community.
Giving something back. Sorry, I said Florida.
It's Houston.
And I gotta say, I'm sorry, Houston, not Florida. Not Florida.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's great. So hopefully we'll see other fighters come out of that gym too.
Yeah, and then.
Undercard.
So then on the undercard, we got the return of Rigondeaux. Like, where's the guy been? Like, he got thoroughly outclassed by Lomachenko, and then he ran away.
Yeah,
and hid
and
under
now
a rock.
Right, and now he's another year or two older too.
38 years old now, fighting at 122 pounds.
Yeah, and I mean, defensively, he's a great fighter.
A genius. 2-time Olympic gold medalist. A genius with that, right?
But if you're fighting in the U.S., and I mean, we appreciate defense, and a lot of observers that are passionate about boxing and know it appreciate what he does subtly and overtly, but mainstream in the U.S. and North America wants to see offense, wants to see beautiful combinations thrown.
That's 100%.
And he doesn't throw a lot of big combinations, maybe 2-punch combinations.
No, it's very little. Yeah. I mean, he will outclass you, and he won't get hit. And the art of boxing is what he really does.
Mm-hmm.
But even Floyd Mayweather threw more punches.
Yeah.
And Floyd Mayweather's more dangerous and would hurt you, especially when he's pretty boy. Rigondeaux, right when he came from the Olympic system, right into professional, he was fighting that way. The safety first.
Yeah.
He stunk it out so many times that Bob Arum was irate with them. Top Rank, they didn't want a contract with him anymore.
Yeah.
He was barely selling any tickets.
Sitting idle for a long time.
Sitting idle. Great amateur, yes, but professional ranks the paid ranks.
Right.
And that's what the Cubans, when they defect, because that's what he did.
Yeah.
He defected, and Cuba, all of Cuban boxing, they blacklisted him because they label him as a traitor. People that try to leave like that, and that's what happened to him. He can't never go back to Cuba.
No, definitely not. And I, like, at age 38, and because of his art and skill in boxing, I still hope he can make some bucks, decent bucks. Because that can't be easy, what he did for all the Cuban fighters that come over here, turn professional, left family behind.
Look how they get here, too.
Yeah.
He's got to make some coming on a sailboat, a nice yacht and stuff. They're risking their life even to get here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the Cubans, there was a fight, not last night, a week ago. It's part of that Super World Series of Boxing.
The Cruiserweight tournament.
The Cruiserweight, Marius Briedis, who's Latvian.
I think
it's from Riga, Latvia.
No, Latvia. Yeah, you're right.
He fought, and he beat Woloszki, the Polish guy who held the belt.
Woloszki, that guy.
Yeah, Woloszki.
Okay.
He was a pretty good fighter.
Yeah,
he was tough.
Tough Polish fighter.
So he got TK'd in that fight.
He fought the Cuban guy.
No, he fought Marius Briedis.
But the fight you're talking about...
Right, so now the winner of that will fight the Cuban dude.
Who the Cuban guy already beat. He just won a big fight in that tournament. Yeah. I thought it was him, the guy that you're talking about.
No. I thought it was at first, and then, I don't know, my brain clicked in that it was the Latvian fighter. But we'll get back to on that. It was this Cuban fighter.
The Cuban won a directos. I forget how to pronounce directos or tactiles, something like that.
It's something.
He beat the
the
guy you're saying.
He beat
the
Yeah, you probably are.
He did.
Yeah.
He won.
Sorry,
he won
guys,
that fight.
I'm messed up.
And against the who did you say that? Anyways, whatever. And nevertheless,
the point is, this guy's got a lot of knockouts under his belt. Cuban with knockouts
is not really heard of that much because it's more safety first. Who would you say the best Cuban professional fighter ever?
Well, what's his name? Teofilo Stevenson, probably.
No, professional.
Oh,
professional.
Yeah, see, he was amazing, Stevenson. Do you ever see some of his amateur fights?
Yeah.
Holy crap. But the best professional Cuban fighter? Oh, man. Let me think about that.
Okay, I got mine.
Who are you thinking?
Joel Casamayor.
Yeah, he was pretty awesome.
One nice fighter, man. The thing with him that separates him from the other Cubans with the safety first defensive approach, which is great for the amateurs but not professional. He was a hard hitter.
Yeah.
He could put you out.
Yeah.
With those nice shots, those 1-2s. You know, they move, bam, bam, 1-2. Move, bam, bam, 1-2, boom, 1-2.
Yeah, I like Casamayor. I think he stayed in the game a little long. Then he lost fights later on in his career.
Yeah, but he had a great career.
Yeah, you gotta give it to him. But it's funny, because outside of Casamayor, who would you call was a great Cuban professional? Not a lot. Really good Cuban pros.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Just because the Cubans are great amateurs and that actually shows you that the amateur boxing and professional boxing is different.
Oh, yeah.
It's two different games.
You can't even say that Yuriokis Gamboa was a great
Not at
Cuban
all.
fighter.
He'd rank up in just good. Like, he won a world
Good,
title.
right, I agree.
He was good, but he
Yeah.
wasn't no Terrence Crawford is man. That just showed you the difference.
Barrera fought. He's a Cuban. Remember he fought Andre Sullivan Barrera. So he's the guy that fought. Maybe he was the guy that fought. Well, he fought in that series, and he was knocked out. He was shop worn. Yeah. The name escapes me, but it'll come back. But he was also fought 2 weeks ago. Shop worn. But remember, he fought a few years ago. Sullivan Barrera fought a pretty good fight against Andre Ward.
He did okay, but Andre just completely shut him down. Like, Andre Ward was just what boxing is all about. The textbook boxing. Like,
absolutely,
everything he did was perfect. The right way you do it. He was a consummate professional, inside and outside the ring. Look at him commentating and how well spoken he is, and a consummate professional, and talking about the importance of always being training if you want to be a good fighter and all that. And he lived that life.
But my point is that Sullivan Barrera actually gave Andre Ward a good fight and fought well, even though he lost. But in just a matter of a couple of years, how much he slid, and how now his everything, his skill levels, he's a bit older, has really fallen, and he's not what he used to be. And it was a pretty quick decline, I think, just in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
But I think he should be done. Yeah, he didn't look good.
It happened when the fighters hang on too long.
Yeah.
And like, look at Zab Judah in that fight a couple weeks ago, where he was then had to go to the hospital right away.
Too long.
These fighters sticking around too long. You got to know when it's time to go.
Yeah.
And
it's time to go. You got to go.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Show's over.
Yeah. All right. What else we got on the docket?
So there's negotiations that have started for, obviously, Canelo with GGG. I mean, I'm saying obviously because that's the biggest money fight in boxing. Excuse me, I got a burp. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to happen, that fight. So I'm glad. So if they're working on the contract now, do you think it's a September Mexican Independence Day fight?
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will. Yeah, it's got to be that day or Cinco de Mayo, and that's way too long to wait for Cinco de Mayo in May.
Oh, that'd be a full year.
Yeah, they gotta start it. They gotta get it done in September.
All right,
there's enough time.
Yeah,
there's way more than enough time. And the only thing right now, which is causing the fight, it's kind of at a snare. Is that the word?
Standstill.
Is that the location? So the location is
for that fight.
Right now they're discussing location because GGG's camp does not want it back in Vegas, where he's been robbed. I'd say once, but they're saying 2 times. People say 2 times, 1 time. He was robbed a few times, or more than once, or once. He was robbed. He doesn't want to go back there and fight Canelo again and have the same outcome occur, which most likely if you fight Canelo and you fight him in Vegas,
and it goes 12 rounds,
and you're not going to get the decision.
So what is he pushing for? MSG?
So yeah, that's what he wants. He wants to fight in New York or Texas. That's what Tom Loeffler and GGG are saying.
So Texas would be good, Texas would be good because they Canelo still has a lot of fans, and so does Triple G in Texas, right? And they got a stadium that I think seats like 100,000 or something. So it's a possibility.
Yeah.
And that's a big fight, man. Why wouldn't you want to be in a stadium that seats 100,000? What is MSG? Maybe 16 to 20,000?
Well, I think they have more other promotional rights and things that they have, and why they have that. Will have the major fights in Las Vegas, anyways. Not where they're getting big paydays from other streams, not just the fans.
True.
Fans
True.
don't just.
But Pacquiao did it. I think in Dallas.
Yeah, he
when
did.
He fought Barbarito.
Yeah.
And
Cheetorito.
Yeah, and Canelo I think has fought in Texas as well. So that's to be decided. I think that's got to be a minor issue at the end of the day on where they fight. Like that's solvable.
Yeah, no, it'll be in Vegas. Let's get serious, man. Like a fight
that's
like
where
that.
the money is.
It's gonna be in Vegas.
Yeah, and if Triple G wants the money, and remember his promoters, they're gonna push. They want the money.
Yeah,
they're not getting
for sure. They want the money. There's gonna be other issues where they're gonna debate on too. Is that the selection of the judges?
That's huge.
Things like that.
Yeah,
like that's gonna be a big thing too because we don't want like the Nevada State Athletic Commission they got all their appointed referees and they're gonna rip off GGG again.
Yeah, I agree. They
Canelo won the second fight, but GGG won the first fight.
Right.
Ripped off.
Yeah. So that's an issue as well. So a couple of hurdles, but hopefully that September that happens. We all want to see that fight again. Anyways.
Yeah. It's gotta happen. It has to. It's the only fight in boxing which is so appealing for us to know that this fight is going to happen soon. And we're all excited about it. It's the biggest fight in boxing.
Yeah, right now it is. It is.
So, obviously Canelo and Golden Boy, they want the fight in Vegas, and we know that. Also, too, about the rematch of Andy Ruiz Jr. and his big upset victory over Anthony Joshua, the undefeated Olympic gold medalist from Great Britain, is now where and when is this fight gonna happen? So the proposed dates right now, they're saying there's three. First of all, Eddie Hearn is saying that there's three options of bringing the fight to the UK. First, obviously, is Wembley Stadium, which seats like 90,000 or something like that, and Joshua sells that place out.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about some other places I've never heard of. White Hart Lane, Principality Stadium. It'll be in Wembley if it's going to happen in the UK. Because Anthony Joshua was saying he wants to go back to the scene of the crime and redo it there and get it right this time and go back to New York and fight Andy Ruiz there.
At MSG.
And obviously Eddie Hearn is like, no. Eddie Hearn is probably like, what the hell's wrong with you, mate?
Yeah. Well, Eddie Hearn's got a lot to lose if Joshua loses again. So why not stack everything as much as he can, including money, in Joshua's favor? So if Joshua does lose, and it's in the UK, at least Eddie Hearn has a big payday. Look, he's a businessman at the end of the day, and he's going to try to push the fight to be in a place that gives his fighter all the advantages. Yeah. And even if he loses, he still makes a ton of dough. Yeah. So that's going to be a sticking point, and I think that's going to be a tougher hurdle to get over than where to fight with Triple G and Canelo.
Yeah.
I do, but I think Ruiz, didn't he say after the first fight, he said, yeah, I'll go to the UK.
See, the difference between those two fights is that Ruiz doesn't have really much say in anything here. So, GGG and Canelo, they both have say.
Yeah.
And maybe Canelo a little bit more than...
I think he does.
But Ruiz has no say in the matter. Like, this fight will go wherever Eddie Hearn wants it to go, and he makes the money and they make the money. It's where Joshua and them, they pick the fight to be. Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least Ruiz said he's happy with either place at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But that'll be a... Well, we'll talk more about that one when it's closer.
I like what Mayweather says, I'm the A side. I'm the A side. He's the B side. I'm the A side. And he's right, man.
He was totally right.
He always would say, I'm the A side.
Yeah.
Man, he's the B side. He's the guy.
Yeah, he was absolutely right about that. He was always the A side.
Yeah.
Whether you wanted to pay to see him win or pay to see him lose, he was the A side. Plus, he was an awesome boxer.
Did we talk about that?
I can't see that.
With Thurman?
No, we haven't, but we should.
I think we skipped that.
Let's go back.
That's what I was wondering. But
Yeah,
okay,
let's talk about that.
so this fight is Keith Thurman. Sometime Thurman. I mean, one-time Thurman.
July 22 or
July 20th. July 20th.
July
I'm
20th.
in Las Vegas, MGM Grand Garden.
Right.
That's a great venue, by the way. I've been there in the Garden. It's nice.
Yeah, it's
MGM
big too.
Grand Garden.
Yeah. So, okay, you want to...
So July 20th,
Yeah.
we have Manny Pacquiao. Look how many fights this guy's got. 61 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 39 KOs. The WBA regular, whatever the regular intro, I don't know what the hell that stuff is, man.
Yeah.
Champion. And then we got Keith Thurman. One-time Thurman, 29-0. And 1 draw. And, 1 no contest. And 22 KOs. So that's a big fight coming up. And so this is what Manny Pacquiao said, because I got to throw a quote in there, right?
Yeah. Are you doing it in your
and
Pacquiao
Manny
accent?
Pacquiao, I choose Keith Thurman because he's undefeated, and I want to prove at the age of 40 I can still be the great fighter like Keith. I pray to God. And then Keith Thurman, I can't even do Keith Thurman, but I'll try. Pacquiao wants to challenge, and I'm very grateful for sharing the ring with a legend. If you understand boxing history, you know that times change. I believe boxing is in a new era. Come July 20th, Pacquiao will disappear. Well, he will always be remembered in the sport, but I'm doing to Pacquiao what Pacquiao did to Oscar De La Hoya. I love that because
That's a great...
Pacquiao destroyed De La Hoya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether he was weight trained or whatever for making that weight, that's his problem. He got destroyed by a force that just kept coming at him like boom, machine gun. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happens when you fight a Pacquiao in his prime.
Yeah.
But Pacquiao is not in his prime anymore. So
He's 40.
I'm watching these YouTube videos of different experts in boxing asking or being asked what their prediction is, who they think will win. So many of them are predicting Pacquiao.
They are.
And I'm the total opposite.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
I'm picking Thurman, and I think for a few reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Thurman is not a stationary opponent.
Okay.
Pacquiao doesn't move like he used to move. He doesn't cut off the ring like he usually does. And in his last few fights, in his later age, he hasn't knocked anybody out. He hasn't looked spectacular. He's looked good.
Matisse.
A shop-worn Matisse.
He beat Broner.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, but Broner doesn't throw a lot of punches, and
But
Broner
still
doesn't have good feet.
But Broner is still he's a good fighter. He's not great, but he's good. And Pacquiao
Okay,
beat
so
him easily.
but hang on, but how reputation-wise, how good of a mover in the ring? How good is his feet? Broner. The reason why he got knocked down a few times in the fight against Maidana is because he's stationary.
Yeah.
So Pacquiao does really well against stationary fighters now in his career. Like earlier on, anybody he could have beaten.
Right.
So you got a guy like Thurman who moves really well laterally. He only has trouble when he gets back into a corner. So you know they've been working on that. He punches hard with bad intentions. Every punch. His hook is strong. His cross is strong.
29-0, 22 KOs.
Yeah, exactly. His knockout percentage is high. He's never been knocked out. The times he's been kind of injured, hit, and had to kind of run a little bit was when he got hit to the body.
Yeah, by Porter.
Porter, not so much by Porter, but Josecito Lopez. Was it Beltran? Not Beltran. Guy with all the tattoos. Collazo hit him in the
right,
in the liver.
Yeah. That was
so and he's 10 years younger. And you got now a Pacquiao. If you watch him since his Mayweather fight, you didn't see a lot of that in-out movement, that 45-degree angle in and out movement. Remember, you throw that lead left and pivot away. You don't see that much happening with Pacquiao. That lead left. So for those reasons, I'm picking Thurman.
Okay,
I'll put money on that one.
that's an interesting breakdown on how and you actually gave me the reasons why you're picking them.
Yes.
And this is, I don't know what happened.
This always happens.
Okay, you can still see us.
Yeah, we're still good, but this always, sorry guys, we just had a little power outage, temporary. It happens because every Monday when I come into my office to work, everything's been rebooted. So I know there's been a power
You're not just
outage.
trying to make it like romantic in here or something. Like,
No, you're married now and I'm married.
True.
So so go on.
But no, I was saying
those are the reasons.
Interesting reasons for that, and I can't disagree with them.
Yeah.
My only thing is that like Pacquiao, even at the age of 40, and what he's doing too right now at the age of 40 to fight at that high level and be WBA, it's unbelievable. Because I'm 40 and I know how hard I work, and it's hard because your body is hurting a lot. Age is you can't deny that.
Right. True.
Right? And so, just because, the thing with Thurman, I think, is that because of that injury and the injuries that he had and the 2 years off, and I think that with his return back against Josezito Lopez, and he didn't look great. And I know you can't just put it on one fight, and that's his first fight in 2 years.
Right.
But I feel that some fighters get there, and then they start coming down. And I feel like he's gotten there. He's gone to, but in those 2 years, it took a lot. It's gonna take a lot out of him, and it's gonna be enough for Pacquiao.
Yeah.
This is my first instinct. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
And mine is, they'll never think it's me.
Yeah, he's like, he crosses the leg. Yeah, hey officer, how you doing?
Exactly.
I'm just like, I'm hiding back
this
there.
gun? It's not mine. Okay, thanks, officer. Have a nice day.
Oh my god.
What? You'll give me a lift home? Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
So those are excellent counterpoints, and I can't counter your counter on that. You're right. So,
we just have to see what goes on. But my one thing is that this is a mega fight. Like this is a superstar fight.
This is huge.
And why is it taking like a 40-year-old Pacquiao to get something going like this? Where's the other guys fighting each other, making the big fights happen?
Now, I remember Thurman calling out Pacquiao a few years ago as well. He wanted to fight Pacquiao. So this is nothing new from Thurman.
Right.
Thurman also wanted to fight Mayweather back in the day too. But this fight
everyone wants that payday.
Yeah, well, for sure.
The Mayweather payday.
But think about the implications of this fight as well. Let's say Thurman wins. This really now puts him up there. Starts to put him up there with the top guys at 47. Earl Spence, Crawford himself at 147. He's beaten Garcia. He's beaten Porter. So it makes those three guys the top three at 147. Let's say he loses. Now if he loses, not only is he not in the race to fight those other guys, but
he's out of the
picture.
down.
He's out of the picture because everybody's going to go, oh, you lost a 40-year-old Pacquiao.
Exactly.
He's got to work his way back up.
Yeah.
Pacquiao gets right in the mix.
Yeah.
And then we can see.
Yeah.
Then maybe the Crawford Pacquiao, because remember they were talking about that fight last
Earl
year.
Spence and Pacquiao.
And Pacquiao too.
Because these guys all want to fight Pacquiao because Mayweather's out of the game, but Pacquiao's a cash guy in the game. Not the cash guy, that's Canelo and Anthony Joshua. But Pacquiao still is a massive payday for these fighters to get
You're right.
a shot at him.
You're right. You got the whole Filipino nation.
Yeah.
Plus East Asia following his
Yeah.
fights as well. So it's a big money.
A lot of people in Asia.
Yeah. But I like the intrigue of what the outcome of this fight, what it's going to determine, and how it mixes things up, and how it really does change the 147-pound division.
Yeah.
So either way, either outcome is actually good for the 147-pound division.
It is. It is.
But man, he's got a lot to lose, Thurman, in this fight.
That's what isn't that the beauty of boxing?
Yeah, yeah.
Put it all on the line.
Put the risk.
They put it all on the line. You know, you got to do that.
And he risks his perfect record too.
Yeah, yeah. So another topic that we're going to talk about, and we haven't really talked about Gervonta Davis that much.
Yeah.
And Gervonta Davis, is he TMT?
Yes.
He is
Yes.
TMT, right?
Yeah.
Promoted by TMT.
Yeah.
And he's with Drake and that OVO. OVO is sponsored by that too, or whatever his deal is with them. He was here like in Toronto maybe like a month ago or something.
Okay.
Anyways, getting off topic a little bit. But okay, Gervonta Davis is must watch boxing. Like when Gervonta's gonna fight, you gotta watch this guy because 21-0 and 20 KOs. Like this guy, like he's a beast. He's a beast at that weight and at the age of only 24 still. He's having his first fight in Baltimore, his hometown.
Okay, at 122?
No.
Or at 130?
He's super featherweight. So super featherweight is 130.
Oh, okay. I like it that he's coming up in weight. That's good.
Yeah. He's not a 122 pounder. He was generally 126.
Okay.
130.
I like that.
He's a beast, man.
Yeah.
He's a beast. 21-0, 20 KOs. When he's fighting Ricardo Nunes, 21-2 in July for the WBA super featherweight title.
Okay. Excellent. We get to see this guy fight. I'm hoping he keeps working his way up in weight to fight Lomachenko.
Yeah, that's a fight. And there's some, like, him and Tevin Farmer have a lot of beef going on right now on Twitter and stuff. And Gervonta is pretty much like, these guys hate each other. And Gervonta is a real deal coming from Philadelphia. And remember how, Baltimore, and remember how we talked about where they're coming from, where their upbringing, how it affects you, how it makes you, like, it makes you have this type of hunger that you can't really, you don't really get living in the middle class.
Yeah.
America, not
Yeah.
America, Canada.
But no, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's an opportunity to better one's situation, and that's why you see a lot of this happening, where young kids from inner city cities in these states end up becoming pro boxers and do really well.
Yeah, like when I used to train at the gyms in Detroit, especially Adam Butzel's on the west side of Detroit, the fighters that came in there and the guys that came from there, they didn't have a lot of money. I remember one time we were going to go to a fight in Buffalo, New York, and we were going to leave from my house, and my brother was going to drive our van, whatever, and then one of the other fighters, Tyrone, he brought his car, and then he left his car there, and then my mom was going to use it because it was my mom's van. But the car, it was like so old, and it was beat up and broke down, and I mean, these guys came from that kind of upbringing, and these guys were hungry as hell, man. And when I used to go to that gym and see that, and that hunger of like, just always work. There's no such thing as like, oh, I'm tired, or I'm this, or it just work. If you don't get the skill, you find that skill. You just make yourself tough.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what Sugar Ray Robinson also If we want to go further back.
Joe Louis, the Brown Bombers.
Yes.
You know, these guys coming
from real
those
poverty.
impoverished backgrounds.
Yeah, and became world champions.
Yeah.
And in Ray Robinson and Joe Lewis's case, one of the best boxers in their weight class ever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Ever. I wanted to just... Okay, so check this out here.
Yeah, let's talk
See,
about that. Go closer.
Can you guys see that?
How many stitches?
I had to get 3 stitches.
Three stitches.
And my wife was so mad at me. She's like, "Why are you sparring? What's wrong with you?" And like, I was really getting scolded. I was just like this. I'm like, "I'll never do it again. I promise."
2 words to say to your wife. Take it from a guy who's married, almost been with the same woman 26 years. Yes, dear.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta know.
Yeah.
Just nod and yes, dear.
Yeah.
No matter what she says.
Yeah, exactly.
You're good. She'll forgive you.
That's it.
So
yes.
What was your worst cut?
So I've had in my career, because I was thinking about it today. I'm like, the reason why I used to get cut a lot, and then one is because my skin was bad. I had bad skin, and I remember like because of the bad skin and being a teenager and all that, and then even going on Accutane.
Yeah.
And that like makes your skin
sensitive.
Easy, like it can tear easy. I used to get marks. I hated sparring because after a sparring session, then I had to go back to school the next day. I'd have like marks. It looked like I got beat up, but I didn't get beat up. I barely even got touched.
Yeah.
But a little touch would just mark on my face and all that, the marks. But the headbutts that I used to get, and because of that, in fights, and more in professional boxing, because the headgear protects you from getting cut. That's why I've always been for the headgear.
Yeah.
And not that the headgear takes the blow off, the impact.
Right.
You still get the blow, but not 100% of the blow. And the headbutts and the headbutt head on head, trust me, is worse than a punch.
Yeah.
Bang, you get that bang.
Yeah.
And then you're,
that's bone to bone. It's
bone to bone. And then you tear up and you get cut. I've had so many fights. 7 of my 13 pro fights were all cuts. End up with cuts.
And what was the worst one? Like how many stitches?
My last fight was for an NBA title. I got headbutted in like the 4th round, and I got a nasty cut. It was like 15 stitches, went from here to here. I spent the whole night in the hospital that next night.
Yeah, you were in rough shape, eh?
Yeah, they have to get that sewn up, like 15 stitches. I had stitches here. My style, too, wasn't just like, my style sometimes would be like aggressive, and I'm getting in there. So there'd be times where heads are going to clash.
Yeah.
That's just the price you pay.
Yeah, it's a part of boxing.
It is.
You had a few fighters that were known for their heads getting in the way. Bernard Hopkins, Tim Bradley.
Yeah, Tarver. Oh, why is it all these ball guys that we're talking about? Black ball guys. Bernard Hopkins, like bang, bang. Holyfield, boom.
Yeah.
Right? It's
in the fight.
You use it as a weapon.
It's true, actually. In the fight, Holyfield-Tyson, where Tyson bit his ear off.
Yeah.
Tyson had a legitimate complaint in that fight.
His headbutted me. I got tilted at home. What do you expect me to do? Like, I gotta feed my kid. This is ludicrous.
Well, he really was getting headbutt a lot in that fight. I don't know if it was purpose, accidental, or just a clash of styles. Yeah. And the ref was not calling it, was not giving any warning or anything like that. And he had a legitimate, and that's why he was getting so frustrated. Because I remember an interview with him, and I think he had a legitimate complaint. But man, everybody just focused on Tyson nipping at Holyfield's ear, but there's another story behind that.
There was, because Holyfield was known for that. Holyfield was known to get that head in there, like Hopkins, like these fighters, and that's the head, man. Trust me.
It's another
you
weapon.
Get bang in the head with the head, like the guy that cut me, Trevor. He did it on purpose too.
Ah,
Trevor Frank, no, I'm joking, he did. It was an
No.
accident, but he's got a bald head too.
yeah, yeah.
Ball guy, bam, bam, boom, and he hit me.
Damn.
Because that's the only way you can hit me is like use illegal tactics.
Yeah, you are tough to hit.
Can't see me.
So we don't have much time left, but we got to do our Did You Know segment,
Mhm.
and we got a new segment called Kooner's Corner. So we should go through that as well. If there's time at the end, there's just one last topic I want to talk to you about
Okay.
that I think is interesting. But let's see if there's enough time. So
Okay, you can go with yours.
okay,
first.
so my Did You Know? I want to talk about in the 1930s there was a middleweight boxer named Barney Ross. Barney Ross was the world champion for 8 years straight. Short, stocky, stout, Jewish fighter out of the inner city at that time. Anyways, what's interesting about Barney Ross, held the title for 8 years, got drafted into the army, fought the Japanese in the South Pacific. While he was in the South Pacific, he got wounded. But while he was wounded, they were under attack. He still grabbed his fellow soldiers and pulled them into cover and saved their lives. And he got a Medal of Honor for that as well. So he was also a war hero, which is awesome. Now, at that time in Palestine, there was a resistance groups that were fighting up against the British occupation at that time. And Barney Ross, because of his Italian mob connections, he was able to get guns from the mob and smuggle them to Palestine to these resistant groups. So it's kind of an interesting story,
Wow, that's
and
cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool,
Yeah.
man. This boxer becomes a hero in the South Pacific, and then ends up with his mob connections smuggling weapons over to Palestine. So a little cool history about Barney Ross, and it kind of tells you a little bit about what kind of guy he was as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool story.
My part of this segment is going to be called Cooner's Corner, and this with a K and a K. Get it, guys? K. Cooner.
Got it.
Got it.
Hang on, let me think
Kanako.
about that. Okay, got it.
Cooner's Corner. Cooner's Corner. Bang.
Yes.
So Cooner's Corner can be about anything related to boxing, something that happened in my career like that. So basically, I just wanted to talk briefly about this one time that I'm always going to go, this one time, I remember back when, this one time, I had it was a intermediate Canadian Championships in Thunder Bay.
Okay.
So at this time, like I just, you know me, I was doing a lot as an amateur on the international scene and everything. So I go to the nationals, and obviously I'm favored to win and everything. We had our training camp at Thunder Bay, the same place where we had the nationals as well. And I was sparring on the last day. I was sparring with Steve Mulder. He came up, and he was a professional at that time, and he was just sparring with us and helping us and stuff. And
Nice.
and I sparred with him, and I threw a hook, bang, and I hit my thumb, and I broke my thumb, and it was like I was like, oh, like that, and then I had to go to the hospital. It's fractured, so they had to put a cast on. They put a cast on it, but what they did was, I'm like, I gotta fight those still.
So was it a soft cast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they just put a cast on it, but the doctor cut back then. They did a lot of stuff like that. Now you can't do any of this stuff. He cut the cast so I could wear it when I needed to at home in my room and keep it still and stuff. And then when I had to go to the weigh-in or whatever, take it off. So then I remember going into the weigh-in that day when I only had one guy I had to fight. And so I go to the weigh-in, and the Dr. Ernie Kiss is his name too. We loved him, man. He was such a great doctor. Dr. Kiss, love you. And you were an awesome guy. And loved always seeing him around. Anyways, he was always like, hey, like he had this accent, and he was touching, make sure everything. Then he's like, grab my hands, and he grabbed my hands and he's like, squeeze. I'm like, like that, and then
Oh.
he didn't notice anything, right? Thank God, but you know how much pain I was in?
Oh yeah, but you had to hide it.
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
So what he did for me was froze it. So I asked him, because they don't do that anymore.
No
You
way.
could- no way.
You wouldn't be able to fight. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you could sue
Yeah.
if they, you know,
Because they're clearing that now. You got to sign off that you're medically sound to fight.
yeah, you do, right?
You do have to.
You do. So he froze it for me, and then in the fight, we're fighting. You know, I beat this guy. I think he's from Quebec. I beat him fairly easily, but then in the last round, the freezing wore off, and actually throughout the fight, it was wearing off, and then it was totally gone. Last like round and a half, and I started feeling everything. So I just had to go on my bike, and then I ended up winning the fight.
Awesome.
And I won the Canadian Championship, but then I was on the shelf for the whole year.
Because of that fracture.
Yeah,
Did it
'cause
get
that-
worse from the fight?
It didn't get worse from, maybe it did,
Yeah.
but also my brother, older brother, he hit my thumb like this, like bang, like that, in my cast, and it separated even more.
What, he did it on purpose? He hit you?
Yeah, I don't know, we got in a fight or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't wanna get it.
Was he at the wedding?
Yeah, the big guy, you saw him?
Yeah, of course.
The big guy, we call him Devo. For Friday. Yo, Devo's.
It's a big
Devo's
boy.
coming. Hide your chains. Hide your chains.
No, listen, it's good you didn't hold a grudge.
No.
You wouldn't have been at the wedding. Oh,
So
man.
it separated my thumb.
Damn.
Yeah, I was out for the whole
Cool.
year. I missed all these
Cool.
years.
But way to grind it out and fight.
Hey,
that's good. That's what
I'm
a
a,
tough...
I'm a fighter.
That's
Hey,
hard. That's all
Look
hard.
at this. Still getting cut. Still
Yeah.
getting stitches.
That's awesome, dude.
He's a merciful champion.
That's a good story,
Abdul
though.
Gatti.
I like it. I like it. I knew you had that in you.
I'm a warrior, man. Like the Charlo brothers. Lion's Den. That's where I belong.
You're a
Lion's
guerrero,
Den.
as they'd say in Spanish in Mexico.
Yeah.
Guerrero means warrior.
Oh yeah. That's
Guerrero.
Singh means warrior. That's every Sikh. Their middle name or last name, if they prefer to be, is Singh, which means lion.
Lion.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I am.
So, just in the last few minutes that we have, just quickly, I wanted to talk a little bit about, because of the Thurman fight coming up, Pacquiao, ring rust. And there's always debate, is it real, is it not real? And I've seen, we've seen Mayweather out for 2 years, comes back, no sign of ring rust.
Yeah.
I know.
Sugar Ray Leonard when he came back after
To fight Hagler,
what 3 years?
no ring rust.
None?
We've seen it with a few guys, but we've also seen guys. Mikey Garcia comes back, knocks out, I forget that European fighter, knocks him out.
Lipnitz.
Yeah, no
Sergey
ring rust.
Lipnitz.
But then you see other fighters come back, and you see ring rust. Like
Yeah.
Thurman's fight back, there was ring rust.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what do you think from your experience? Because you had a long layoff. Was it real for you or not?
100% is real. One is that if you're out of the game, like you're not training for a fight, and you're just at home, that means you're not training that much. You're not doing that much. You're putting on weight. You're not. Your muscles and tendons and ligaments are not as strong, and everything. And you're not mentally focused.
So is it more of a mental thing, ring rust, or is it more physical?
It's both.
Yeah.
Mentally, you're rusty, and physically, you're rusty. So it equals a bad combination. And some fighters have averted that, like Sugar Ray Leonard, and they never had it when they came back. But some people have it. And I know me personally, if I took a long layoff, I put on some weight.
Right.
I live in a good life for a little bit, which you're not supposed to do. So I'd be clean living if you want to be one of the best in the sport.
So it's fighter to fighter, ring rust. That basically, some will, some won't. Tyson Fury comes back. Yeah, he had a little bit of ring rust in his first 2 fights before he met what's his name, Wilder, but he still looked actually good in those fights.
He looked okay. And then you see the weight decline. Like he's coming back at this weight, then he's slowly declining in weight because he's getting in better. When you fight, and you stay active fighting.
Yeah,
that's a sharpness.
And that's an
Right.
argument for that ring rust exists because
Mhm.
these guys get better when they're fighting more frequently, it seems.
And but see, this is a tough situation because at the beginning you're fighting more often because you're building your record,
Right.
you're getting established more, you're earning those smaller paydays. When you start getting to that point where the paydays start getting a lot bigger and stuff, that you're fighting less frequently.
Like Canelo's a perfect example, twice a year,
Although
and he
Mayweather
Yeah.
he did that once a year.
and they still look great in their
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really subjective thing, I guess. Then
You
ring
just
rust.
gotta, if you're in the gym all the time, you're gonna be fine. But I mean, if you're fighting frequently, often, like, being in the ring gives you a sharpness that, just being in the gym or
Right.
or doing groundwork, whatever, is not gonna give you that edge
Yeah.
that being in the ring is.
All right, cool. So we haven't solved it. However, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a picture of Stephen A. Smith. I'm an idiot.
Oh,
Get that? Stephen, I'm not letting it go. You are an idiot, Stephen A. Smith.
My God.
What you said about Ruiz, and then you tried to say you didn't say anything offensive.
Yes.
Shame on you.
Yeah, man. Why stay in your lane, man?
I'm not letting it go. Yo.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stephen A. This is AK and the dog all day, and we don't play like go, like play dough, yo.
See you next week.
All right.
Peeps.